Happy Thursday. Welcome to another Tech Tip. And this week I'm going to talk about creating a custom gem for a student. So I'm going to go ahead and go into Google Classroom. And it really doesn't matter what class I pick. I'm just going to pick one that I know is not one that's being actively used. And I'm going to go ahead into classwork. And I'm just going to click up here and click create. And I'm going to create an assignment. Okay. And even where I created an assignment, I had the option to create a gem. So I can create a gem here. And one of the nice things is it does offer me immediate ideas for gems, templates to start with. But I don't want to start with a template. I want to create a custom gem to help with a specific assignment. So I have created some prompts and I'm going to share these with you. But I'm going to start with a prompt for ELA. And I will admit I used AI to help me generate this prompt, okay? And it came up with all sorts of great ideas, which I included. And then I also had ideas about exactly what this should be and what it should include, okay? So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to come over here, and I'm actually going to click Create Gem. You could select existing, and that would bring you to your list of gems. So if you created this straight in Gemini and brought it over later, it can work that way too. So I'm going to click Create Gem. You don't have to create your gem within Google Classroom, but you could, okay? So now to create this gem, the first step is to give it the directions. And these are all the directions. Now, I actually have this divided into a couple of parts. I have the gem description. I actually generated this part, the roles and responsibilities and everything between the lines. That is my prompt that I'm giving all of that directly to Gemini, okay, as the directions for the gem. It asked for a description. I went ahead and made that in advance so that I would have it. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that in. But remember, a description is just what you see or what someone else sees when they look at your gem. And then it also asked for a name, and I went ahead and generated that because watching me write these things is not exciting. I understand there is a craft to developing gems, and if anyone wants me to talk about that, I can, but I'm assuming maybe a lot of you don't feel like that's something you need help with. So if that is something you want me to work with, let me know. You can choose the default tool. I like to choose guided learning. That means that it is specifically directed not to give answers, even though I have that in my directions too. I don't mind doing it twice. And then I like to upload the related documents. So I would totally give them the guided notes for, I actually have the guided notes and the teacher stuff, the teacher guide and the syllabus all in one nice package that I can attach here. Okay, it's all the teacher's guides, it's the syllabus, it's the guided notes. I would also go into Edmentum and individually print out this assignment, and I would probably print all the pages in the directions. So, I mean, for English, they're like 8 or 9 pages. I know some of the other ones are a lot longer. Use your own judgment. What do they need to know, right? Okay, so once I have everything attached, then I just click Update. And this becomes a gem that I can choose, okay? I can test it, and I highly encourage you to test it. So I'm going to pretend like I'm a student. I'm going to put IDK, and it's going to go ahead and give me some kind of answer. And I have already done this like 10 times with this exact prompt, and I've yet to get it to give me an answer. So you probably don't have to test it that thoroughly, but do test it, okay? So they're asking, what can I help you with? And I'm just going to say, I don't know. You know, just true our student style. And it's going to keep prodding me about what the assignment is. It stays on task, right? That's one thing it doesn't get distracted. No matter what you say to it, it is not going to get distracted. It's going to keep asking you about writing this story. And either the student is going to get frustrated and not use the tool, or the student is going to use the tool and they'll actually come up with something. So this is an example of what the chat looks like. I'm going to come over here. I can click Gem, and I can click Select Existing, and I can choose that gem that I just created. And you can see I've practiced this a couple of times, right? So I'm going to choose my gem for narrative writing, attach this gem. Oh, the gem was already attached because I had actually done that gem attached to the lesson. So I don't actually need to do that. Sorry. So when you create the gem directly from Google Classroom, it's already attached, but that's how you would attach it if you were selecting an existing one. Okay, I hope that you guys try this out. From the student, when they go to it, they're just going to get this, they're going to click on it, and they're going to get this plain Gemini window, and it's going to try to help them write. This is not a substitute for working with the kids, right? This is something you can give a kid if you're already working with someone else. If you need to get them started and you saying, hey, you could write about this or this. Okay, well, if that's not working, if the verbal prompting for that is not working, you're not giving me any ideas, let me set you up with this computer and see if this computer prompt can come up with an idea that you like, can take you from the idea to the next part if I'm not there to do it. So I hope that you try this out. I think that this can really help our kids, and I think it's a great tool. Have a great week.